Hello dear fans, friends and subscribers. This is your host Ram, welcoming you to the Tuesday edition of the Cricket Happening Show. And on this Cricket Happening Show, well, I'm going to take you live to the Manchester Old Trafford, where it is the third one-day international which is being played for England. It is a very important fixture. If they win this one-day international, at least the series, one-day series would be alive. But I'm afraid that England are being restricted in the 47 overs that they have played right now. 3 more overs remaining for the England innings to end. England were the ones who actually won the toss and elected to bat, and they didn't have a good start. In fact, Jason Roy, as and when one sees him, he's also looking like a picture of consistency, and that is good news for England, because the opening slot is very, very important. And Jason Roy the other day also played well, and today also it was a strokeful innings from him. He was stroking the ball on all sides of the wicket as he collected 63 runs for 45 deliveries with 9 fours. And also, if you look at the partnership that happened between Jason Roy and Alex Hales, in fact, the majority of runs were scored by Jason Roy because they had a 52-run partnership in 10 overs. So that would give you a feeling as to how Alex Hales played. Alex Hales normally is an aggressive player. He was really kept quiet by the Australian bowlers, as Alex Hales could muster only 9 runs, and he scratched around for 31 deliveries with just 1 boundary to show to his name, and the partnership was worth 52. So you could just imagine how much Jason Roy would have been. Jason Roy was on his 40s when Alex Hales was out, but Alex Hales really disappointing. Was the first wicket to go as Cummins actually picked up his wicket. Caught Marsh bowled Cummins for 9. That was the first wicket to go, which made it 52 for 1 in the 10th over. After that, we saw it was the turn for Alex Hales. Jason Roy got the company of James Taylor, and James Taylor, well, Jason Roy was stroking the ball perfectly and nicely. And when the score reached 86, Ashton Agar, who was actually making his one-day international debut for Australia, got his maiden wicket in one-day internationals in his first match itself, as Jason Roy was gone, caught by Maxwell off the bowling of Agar, but providing some real entertainment here to the spectators who had assembled at the Old Trafford in Manchester in the 4th one-day international, as he cracked 63 of 45 deliveries, 9 fours in that. After that, James Taylor was joined in by the informed England captain Morgan, and that was a big partnership that came through. From 86 for 2 in the 15th over, in fact, what James Taylor and Morgan did was to take the score beyond 200. In fact, they had to really do a sort of settling down job, but once they had done that, the strokes were really flowing. In fact, Morgan was the more aggressive partner, contributing 62 of 56 deliveries with 7 fours and 1 6. And at the other end, James Taylor was his sedate self, but also ensuring that he was keeping the scoreboard moving by ticking the ball through the gaps and ticking the ball for singles and twos. And it was Morgan who played a good innings of 62, and he continued his rich vein of form, 62 of 56 deliveries, 7 fours and 1 6. And then we saw Ben Stokes coming in, and Ben Stokes really struggled at the crease and finally tried to slog Maxwell in the process. Aaron Finch taking the catch. He was gone for 14 of 20 balls with 1 4. Jonathan Bairstow briefly entertained with a knock of 17 of 18 balls, also cracked 1 6, but he was run out with a misunderstanding that he had with James Taylor, and he was gone for 17. After that, while I'm talking to you right now, we are in the 49th over, and Moeen Ali has been dismissed by Cummins for 1. Plunkett has been run out, but James Taylor is nearing his century here. James Taylor is nearing his century. He's not on 99 of 111 balls, 5 4. So he has really played knock a sort of a sheet anchor role here to hold the England innings together when things were really sliding down for England. But I thought James Taylor has done a wonderful job. So James Taylor should definitely ensure that England will be past this 300 mark. Right now, the current score as I'm speaking to you in the 49th over stands at 286 for 7. James Taylor is not out on 99. Chris Wokes has walked in, not out on 4. And I'll be telling you when England reaches 300. Looking at the bowling figures for England, as I said, for England this is a must-win match because they're already trailing 0-2 in this particular one-day series, and a very important match for England. And looking at the Australian bowling, Mitchell Starc has been very costly. In fact, Jason Roy really went after Mitchell Starc by pummeling him for boundaries. 9 overs, no maiden, none for 69. Pattinson coming back into the Australian team had a decent workout. 6 overs, 1 maiden, none for 36. Ashton Agar on his debut getting a quick wicket. 9 overs, no maiden, 1 for 45. Cummins is right now in bowling. He has bowled 9.1 overs, bowling his final over. 10 over, 1 maiden, 47 runs and 2 wickets. Glenn Maxwell purchased 2 wickets for 56 of his 10 overs. Marsh 5 overs, none for 28. That's Mitchell Marsh. But I'll be taking you down live to the ground to see as to how much England finished with. So I'm trying to do that right now. I'm going to take you down to the Old Trafford in Manchester to give you some live proceedings there. So till such time this particular innings of England ends, I'll be keeping my cricket commentary going. As I said, England right now, while I'm talking to you, is the 49th over in progress. Chris Wokes is 4. James Taylor has reached that coveted century. In fact, he has gone to his century. So this is his maiden ODI 100 for James Taylor. What a knock from James Taylor. Held the innings together, had a good partnership with Morgan, the captain. After that, the England's innings started sliding down, and James Taylor has really risen to the occasion and saw to it that not only has he picked up a century, his maiden ODI century of 113 balls with 5 fours, also ensured that Australia have gone past the 300, almost inching to the 300 mark, as the score reached 290 for 7. The 49th over has just come to an end with Chris Wokes on 5 and James Taylor on his maiden ODI 100, not out on 101. The 49th over is gone. Cummins has given away 5 runs, so good over from Cummins. And I'm sure England will get the next 10 runs, which is required to get into that magical mark of 300 to have a psychological hold in this particular match. So, but we are waiting I'm just waiting to see who is the bowler who is going to be bowling the final over. And yes, the final over is going to be bowled by Mitchell Starc. So Mitchell Starc is the bowler. Chris Wokes will be taking strike. So I'll be just describing this final over which is being bowled by Mitchell Starc, and I'll be ending my cricket show. So Mitchell Starc is coming in and bowling the first ball to Wokes for the 50th over, as Wokes gets a single and takes the England score on to 291 for 7. Wokes has moved on to 6 right now, as Wokes is now Starc is now coming in to bowl the second ball to James Taylor. So James Taylor not out on 101 of 114 deliveries, 5 fours and no sixes. So it has been a really a very an effort where he has really tried to pull things together for England. Has really waited. He has waited for the loose balls to really score off, and as some speed adjustments are being made, Mitchell Starc is waiting on the top of his bowling run-up to hurl the ball to Taylor, and now Taylor slowly tapping his bat as Mitchell Starc is running in to bowl to Taylor. I'm sure Taylor will be attempting a big shot here, no doubt about it, because England would like to get out to the 300 mark. In comes Mitchell Stark, passing umpire, balls to Taylor. Taylor tries to have a heave at it, but well, the ball is high up in the air, and Ashton Agar is slowly settling down under it, and he makes no mistake. He has taken the catch, and that's the end of James Taylor. What a knock! His maiden ODI 100 is gone, caught by Ashton Agar off the bowling of Mitchell Stark for 101 of 114 balls, 5 fours, and England are now 291 for 8. But in the process of doing so, they have actually crossed ends. In fact, Taylor is gone, but Chris Wokes has come to the striker's end, and Chris Wokes will be taking strike with Adil Rashid slowly walking in to replace James Taylor. So in comes Mitchell Stark. Chris Wokes will be on strike, and let's see what is Wokes' approach here. As in comes Mitchell Stark running in, and balls to Wokes. Wokes clears the front leg, and what a shot from Chris Wokes. He has smoked it over the mid-wicket stands for a 6, and that takes the England score on to 298 for 8, as Chris Wokes has clubbed Mitchell Stark into the mid-wicket stands for a 6. What a shot that was from Chris Wokes. Really, probably Mitchell Stark will have not expected that really went firing into the stands. What a shot from Chris Wokes. Brilliant. So now, as the ball has been retrieved, and Mitchell Stark will bowl the 4th delivery now to Chris Wokes, who will be settling down. It's already hit a 6. I'm sure this is going to be something, a Yorker or something to keep him away. Let's see what does Mitchell Stark do. Mitchell Stark runs in, bowls to Wokes, round the wicket now, Mitchell Stark, and bowls is the full delivery, and as expected, Wokes was kept quiet as he had to actually dig this ball. The ball goes for a single, so that brings up in fact not the 300, it's still 298, and now Adil Rashid, the new batsman, will be on strike to Mitchell Stark. As Mitchell Stark, going back on the top of his bowling rack, slowly ambling in, waiting for Adil Rashid to take guard. Once Adil Rashid has taken guard, it is Mitchell Stark running in, and this time it was Adil Rashid is trying to pull the ball, but regardless, in fact, they go across for a single. So the 5th delivery of the final over, only 1 run, but that has taken the England score on to 299. So just one more run to get on to that magical 300 mark, and it will be the final ball which is going to be bowled by Mitchell Stark, and Wokes will be taking strike. So that will be interesting, whether Wokes is going to do something that he did previously in the last over. One is waiting for that, as Stark is going to bowl to Wokes. In comes Stark, bowls to Wokes. Wokes pitches up the ball, and Mitchell Stark has, in fact, Wokes is once again trying that. He has gone on the back foot and tried to hoist it, and that's the end of the England innings. England have finished at 300 for 8. The 50th over comes to an end. The England innings ends at 300 for 8. They'll be happy with the effort, with Chris Wokes not out on 14 of 11 deliveries with 1-6. Adil Rashid is not out on 1. England 300 for 8 of the 50 overs. Now, as I said, Wokes is not out on 14 of 11 deliveries. Adil Rashid not out on 1. Innings break now. England 300 for 8 of the 50 overs. Mitchell Stark 10 overs, no maiden, 1 for 79. Pattinson none for 36, 1 for 45 for Agar, 2 for 50 for Cummins. Maxwell 2 for 56. Mitchell Marsh 5 overs, no maiden, none for 28. Just giving you an update here about the match between Gloucestershire. In fact, yesterday I told you that Kumar Sangakkara went on to make a brilliant century. It was a winning effort, but let me tell you, not even, in fact, Surrey is the one who would be playing Gloucestershire in the finals of the Royal London One Day Cup. Nottinghamshire 301 runs from 50 overs. They had a target. They mustered 296 for 7. Greg Smith played a valiant effort there, but in vain. But he made 124 of 134 balls with 8 fours and 1 6. They lost 3 wickets pretty early. Lum, Wessels and Taylor in the top of the order. After that, Samit Patel made 51 of 72 balls with 5 fours. Daniel Christian pasting 54 of 43, 2 fours and 3 sixes. And Mulani was not out on a very quick 542, but that was not really enough, as it was Surrey who actually won the match by 4 runs and went into the finals to meet Gloucestershire in the Royal London One Day Cup 2015. Well, dear fans of Travers, it was Tim Curran who was the bowler, and in fact it was Mulani who couldn't actually hit a 6, and thus the match ended. In fact, either a 4 or 6 was needed, but Mulani couldn't get it, and that was all over. So, dear fans of the Travers, I thought England have put up a good score, 300 for each. Australia will be trying to get 301 for victory in the 4th one-day, and if Australia wins, the one-day series is all sealed. Australia would have won the one-day series, but if England win, then at least the one-day series would be still alive. So let's keep an eye. That's about it as far as my cricket happenings update goes today. I'll be seeing you all tomorrow with a full innings report as to how Australia fared in the 3rd one-day international, or England fared, and we'll know the outcome. That's it from me, your host Ram, for the show. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Bye.